You probably didn't even notice it. Maybe it was the way she paused mid-sentence, or how she leaned a little closer just for a moment, like her body wanted to say something before her mind could catch up. But here's the truth. Women feel things long before they admit them out loud. And sometimes, when you do something small, something seemingly innocent, you don't realize you've just sent a chill down her spine. Not because she's cold, not because she's afraid, but because you've hit something deeper, something primal, something that makes her feel you, not just see you. It's in that moment that her body reacts before her brain ever gives her permission. Tonight, we're going somewhere honest, somewhere real. We're going to explore the subtle reactions, the body shivers you've been triggering in her without even knowing. And trust me, if you've ever seen her take a sudden breath, glance away too fast, or smile for no reason at all, she felt it. Let's rewind. Becky, to when you two first started talking. Maybe it was casual, a coffee shop, a class, a shared ride, nothing big, right? But there was a moment, however small, when your presence shifted the air around her. She didn't flinch, she didn't run, but her skin responded. Maybe she tucked her hair behind her ear more than once. Maybe her voice got softer, slower. Maybe she laughed just a bit too long, because you didn't just speak, you affected her. And the body doesn't lie. See, what most guys miss is that attraction isn't always verbal. It's chemical, it's psychological. It's the way your energy enters a room and rearranges her nervous system just a little. She won't say it, but she feels it. You didn't have to try too hard. It wasn't about flexing or showing off. It was the way you listened, the way your eyes didn't wander when she talked. It was the patience, the stillness in your posture. You weren't chasing her attention. You were grounded, and that is rare. And women, they pick up on rare. When you don't need to dominate the space, but instead let the silence speak for you. Something happens in her. Her heart skips. Her skin warms. And sometimes there's this involuntary shiver, like her body recognizing safety and mystery all at once. That's not just attraction. That's impact. There was a moment, wasn't there, when your hand brushed hers by accident, or maybe not, and she paused. That pause. It wasn't hesitation, it was electricity, because her body just registered you in a new way, not as a friend, not as just some guy, but as a man who could touch her world, who could disrupt it. And that disruption, it's terrifying and thrilling. She might have looked away, bit her lip, shifted in her seat, all signs that her body was trying to regulate something it wasn't ready to admit. But you felt it too, didn't you? The spark, the tension, the sense that something just crossed an invisible line. You don't know it, but your voice got inside her. Maybe it was the low hum when you told her a story, or the calm confidence when you asked her a question and didn't rush her answer. That voice, the tone, the pace, it didn't just pass through her ears, it soaked into her nervous system. She felt it in her chest, in her belly, maybe even lower, not because you were trying to seduce her, but because you were present. And presence, that's a body language all its own. It says, I'm here with you fully. And a woman, especially one who's used to being half heard or halfway seen, she shivers at that kind of attention. Here's what no one tells you. The real magic happens in the moments between the words, that half second before you responded, the way you held her gaze just a little longer than expected, or when you leaned in, not to invade, but to understand. It's in those gaps where the unspoken gets loud, where her body reacts even if her face tries to stay calm. You see, women don't just fall for what you say. They fall for how you make them feel in the silence. And sometimes her breath catches. Sometimes her shoulder tenses, just for a second. Sometimes she rubs her own arm like she's trying to calm something down. You didn't touch her, but she felt you. One day, she caught herself thinking about you. Not because you texted, not because you were around, but because her body remembered something. The way you smiled when she was ranting, the way you nodded slowly when she confessed something personal, the way your energy wrapped around the room like calm gravity. And she shivered, right there, alone, because the memory of you, your scent, your voice, your presence, was more than just memory. It was experience, and that experience lived in her, like a song she couldn't stop hearing, like a pulse that quickened at the thought of your name. Watch her eyes. Next time, really watch. Because when a woman feels something for you, her pupils dilate, her blink slows, and sometimes, just for a second, she forgets to pretend. She'll look at you like she's imagining something deeper, something she hasn't fully explored yet. And that gaze, that's the body's way of whispering, he matters. Of saying, I'm drawn to him and I don't know why. That's not lust. That's something older than language. It's instinct, and yes, it sends a ripple through her body she can't control. Here's the funny thing. When she really starts to feel it, she won't show it. She'll hide it. She'll fidget. She'll tease. She'll pretend you didn't affect her. But you did. The nervous laugh. The sudden need to change the subject. The way she keeps touching her necklace or twisting her ring. That's not indifference. That's reaction. Her body is processing you in real time. And sometimes when she's overwhelmed, she'll retreat. Because you've triggered something she didn't expect. Something real. Late at night, when the world is quiet, that's when her body really speaks. That's when she replays your voice in her head. That's when she reimagines that smile, that one moment you held her gaze and didn't look away. And in those still moments, lying in bed, she shivers. Not from cold, but from memory, from desire, from a connection that wasn't loud but lingered. You didn't force anything, you showed up. You were authentic. You were calm. You were a man rooted in himself, and that's unforgettable. She may never tell you. She may never confess what her body already revealed. But when you walk into a room, she sits taller. When you speak, she listens differently. And when you leave, she feels the absence more than she thought she would, because her body remembers the way her heart skipped, the warmth in her chest, the breath she didn't realize she was holding. You didn't just attract her, you moved her. And deep down, she hopes you felt it too. So the next time you wonder whether you're making an impression, watch her, not for what she says, but for what she doesn't say. The way her body shifts. The pauses, the sighs, the sudden softness. Those are her tells, her signals, her shivers. And if you've ever seen those little moments, if you've ever felt like something passed between you that had no words, you're not crazy. You triggered something deep, something real, and brother, she felt every second of it.